today, from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's a special Thanksgiving Day presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs versus Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Mitchell Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the #2 pick in 2017.
When I talk with people around the league about Mitchell Trubisky when he's coming out of North Carolina, those that had questions about him, it often centered in on the fact that he was only a one-year starter and wondered why he couldn't beat out the guy ahead of him beforehand. I just locked in on the athletic ability, the accuracy, and then once he got the football, how the team responded to him. I think his upside is big.
The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Anthony Hitchens brought him down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And Graham's got it. Complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do?
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Ted Ginn there to make the grab. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will make it into the end zone. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
We know the arm strength is certainly there. He's got a big-time cannon for an arm, and that's not a surprise. He's the son of a former Major League pitcher, so the bloodlines come into play. The biggest question for Patrick Mahomes, can he harness that big arm, develop the touch that's needed, and carry his team towards the playoffs?
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. They did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Hill, the intended receiver once again, but it'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mahomes firing complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back at the 47-yard line. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. The ball comes out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bears 7, Chiefs 0. Harrison Butker for the Chiefs field goal. A 54-yard attempt.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did something like that.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Now it's Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. 22 yards there, a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The throw complete, Trubisky to Miller, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let it go.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Here's Trubisky to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger, there to knock it away.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They go play action. Trubisky. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Mitchell Trubisky to Allen Robinson as the Bears push further out in front. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Mahomes completes that one to Watkins, and he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
2nd and 2. Again, it's Mahomes. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Quickly to Kelsey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Butker's kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
14, Chiefs 3.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about team.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Second and 20. Off the draw, here's Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's got it to Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Broken tackle. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards, and the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, 60 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
And it's up and good. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Quinn came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
An 8-yard loss.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Forced out to his left. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Trubisky. Quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
1st and goal.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll run forward, Tariq Cohen, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
Touchdown.
Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Bears will add on to their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mention the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. We're on to the fourth here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return is Cohen. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Play action. Now Trubisky. Pass complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and that'll bring up second down.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Bears.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, you know, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. KC's offense ready to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here comes Cohen. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. It's the 50 and into Chief territory. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a second down and 6. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Mike, 53.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Alex Okafor on the tackle. A gain of 4. It's now second and 6. At the 20.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Kansas City.
Let's hit the post-game tailgates and grab some of that barbecue.
Yeah, BBQ.